Hi, I'm Dr. Spencer Lucas. I'm the Curator of Paleontology and Geology at the New Mexico Museum of Natural History and Science. And I'm here at the Sandia Mountain Natural History Center. I'm on the Mud Springs Loop Trail, which is one of the big trails at the center. And I'm looking at one of the bigger outcrops along the trail. This is about 10 meters thickness, 30 feet or so, of Glorieta sandstone, or Glorieta Formation, if you will. Now, the Glorieta sandstone is a very famous rock formation in northern New Mexico. It's very well exposed. It's very well known. You see it from the central part of the state all through the northern part of the state. And it is of early Permian age, which means it's about 280 million years ago that it was formed. And it represents an ancient desert that existed in northern New Mexico and extended all the way into Arizona, actually all the way to the Grand Canyon during early Permian time. And you can tell that, or geologists like me have figured that out by looking at its outcrops over that broad area and by looking at specific features of the sandstone itself. And those specific features include the size of the sand grains, the shape of the grains. The grains are fairly small throughout. They're fairly well rounded. And we also look at what we call the sedimentary structures in the rock, which you can't see very well here because there's a lot of lichens growing on the rock. But if you look at it carefully, you'll see that the rock has a lot of what we call cross beds, a lot of inclined angle bedding in it. And those three features that I just described, relatively small grains, relatively round grains, and cross bedding, are very characteristic of windblown sand. We know that from windblown sand in deserts today, and we understand and think that that's exactly what kind of sand this is. This is sand that was being blown in a big desert. If you imagine this area looking like, say, parts of Saudi Arabia or the Sahara Desert of northern Africa, you'd be correct in that vision of what the center looked like 280 million years ago. I'll tell you one other thing, though, that's interesting. When you go into Arizona, geologists give a somewhat different name to the same sandstone. It's called the Coconino sandstone, which is a very famous rock formation because it not only is rock that was deposited in the early Permian by dunes, but it's also full of footprints of ancient reptiles who lived in the desert. And all I can say about the Glorieta is I've been looking for years at it, hoping I'd find a footprint. And someday somebody will find a fossil footprint in the Glorieta, much as many have been found in the Coconino sandstone. So to summarize, here we are looking at the early Permian Glorieta sandstone, a rock formation then about 280 million years ago, that was formed in a desert that covered northern New Mexico and much of northern Arizona at that time.